The Color Purple flopped. The Color Purple flopped. The movie flopped. Let's talk about it. So, I'm going to tell you why, obviously, the movie was going to flop. Duh. But I'm going to read this Forbes article real quick. How the Color Purple rollout became dominated by accusations of low pay and poor conditions. Whew, it's almost like these articles. Okay, here. The Color Purple sales plummeted after a record breaking premiere, just like these other drop off films. This is also Forbes, another Forbes article. The end of the year brought a lackluster performance of the latest adaptation of The Color Purple, a a musical that blew audiences away when it opened on Christmas Day, but then saw numbers drastically fall as its theater run continues. The Color Purple, an adaptation of the stage musical, surpassed box office expectations with an $18 million drastic opening, with the largest on Christmas Day in over a decade, before falling to a 7 million gross on day two of the 3.8 million by the third day. For its first full weekend in theaters from December 29th to New Year's Eve, the movie grossed 13 million across 3 days. Blah 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 blah. Let's see what they conclude with. What did they conclude? Okay, let's read this next article. So now they're claiming that because of Taraji P Henson exposing the poor conditions and accusations of low pay, this is why the movie flopped. And it's very interesting to me because this is a very problematic narrative, because it seems as though the studios might want to punish Taraji for what she said. But the truth is, the fans decide, we celebrate, and we're going to continue to support her. And we have seen a problem with the white power structure. So we're going to talk about this. So, the newest musical adaptation of The Color Purple has had its award season campaign overshadowed by accusations from its stars about poor working conditions and low pay, notably by the star Taraji P Henson, who said she nearly walked away from the project. During the interview hosted by SAG-AFTRA, Henson drew attention just weeks before the film's release by saying she nearly ditched The Color Purple because of low pay, but this is weeks before okay, complaining she hadn't received a compensation increase since her role in the 2018 film Proud Mary. Henson gave an emotional interview to Gayle King in which she said she is considering quitting acting because she was tired of getting paid a fraction of the cost she felt she deserved despite being the Golden Globe winner and Oscar nominee, sparking an outpour of support from fellow black actors and widespread speculation she was criticizing The Color Purple's producers. Henson praised Oprah Winfrey, blah, blah, blah. The Color Purple released in theaters. So I don't know why they have this narrative in the headline, because like she said that first, then The Color Purple released, and it did surpass. So people did come out to support the movie. But the movie then flopped after. We'll explain why the movie flopped after. Henson told the New York Times, this is January 5th, Henson told the New York Times she fought for the film's cast to be provided transportation to the set after initially being offered rental cars, stating driving car, blah, blah, blah. So we saw that when she was like talking about the difficulty. That's January 5th. Henson also told the Times she was forced to audition for the role despite being the director's first choice for the movie. Actress Danielle Brooks told The Hollywood Reporter cast members of Color Purple were not initially provided food for their own dressing rooms. But like, this is so funny because it's like Forbes is trying to blame them for this when you need to be pointing fingers at the studios. January 7th, Winfrey denied rumors. Let's see what they conclude with all of this, because we saw the back and forth that went on. So allegations of low pay and poor working conditions have dominated the press run for The Color Purple, which has been met with a mostly muted response at awards ceremonies and the box office. The film missed a nomination for Best Picture musical for the comedy at the Golden Globes, which was deemed a snub by some. Fantasia and Brooks both secured Golden Globe nods for their performances. The only nomination for the film through their one. Come on. Black actors have praised The Color Purple. Actors are speaking out against unfavorable pay and working conditions after Taraji's interview discussing the experiences with low pay. Gabrielle Union posted blah blah blah. Critical quote: a lot of the stuff on the set we fought for. Contra. Further readings. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, anyway, so it's funny. This is a white guy. Connor Murray. Anyway, so let me give you my take. This narrative is silly. It's like, you know, the reason the movie is okay. Wait. You want to point fingers at Taraji P Henson to blame her for the reason why the movie flopped because of her not keeping her mouth shut. But let's be real. Why did The Color Purple flop? We are tired of struggle love narratives in the Black community. It's so interesting to me because it's like these studio executives are so tone deaf that they would think that we would want to watch a movie in 2024, that we would want to watch a movie like The Color Purple. I knew when they said that was coming out, I thought it was so ridiculous. Why would I ever go and watch that? I studied The Color Purple in high school. We had to read the book. We went to the theater, to Broadway to go watch it. And also, not even just this is like, it came out in the 80s, you know. I had to watch it as a child. I had to watch it. Then in the, you know, when I was in high school, and then by then it was like this big thing, you know, like it was on Broadway. It was doing all this stuff. It was huge. We still had to watch it. We still had to read it in school. Like that. I feel like that was even what we had to read on Black History Month. Like that's even a real thing, right? That is the narrative they want us to believe about Black society. So we had to watch it. It was like 2006, 2007 when I was in high school. We had to read the book, or 2005. Yeah, whatever. But basically late 2000s, right? In high school, I had to read the freaking books, watch the thing, watch the movie again, watch the Broadway play. We are tired. The movie came out in 1987. For the past 40 years, you have consistently forced us to watch. No, it came out in 1983. So 40 years. They've consistently forced every generation for the past 40 years to consume this content. And we are done. And we are done. When I think about Black struggle love, I think about The Color Purple. When I think about Black struggle love, it's The Color Purple that comes to mind. I see the picture of whatever his name is, Donnie Glover, and I feel like he's never gotten a good role after that. Donnie Glover being abusive to Whoopi Goldberg. I see all the Oprah Winfrey. Did she slap somebody? I can't remember what happened in that scene. But I see Oprah Winfrey being abused by a white woman. Why do we have to keep pushing this not just struggle love, but white supremacy porn on everybody? So it's very clear to me that the audience for this movie are white people. I went to a predominantly white high school. That's why they felt that's what we were going to read on Black History Month. They want to keep pushing these narratives about black people. This struggle, this strife, this hardship. They want to keep pushing that narrative. So sell the film to white people. Because black people don't want to watch it anymore. We're tired. We are bored. And this is why it's a problem when you have white Hollywood deciding what black society is going to consume. This is why we don't even like, movies are still doing well, but this is why the movies are doing well financially. Also, ticket prices have never been this expensive before. But let's be real. You want to make a movie for black people, you're not going to get away with making stuff about struggle love. It's so crazy to me how the conversation, the discourse is online. It's on TikTok. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. Why are we not aware of the conversation that we're tired of this content? Like the past 3 years, there has been a renaissance of podcasts about black love, black struggles, blah, 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 black struggle love. There is a prevalent narrative. If anybody took the time to do any research before releasing these movies, you would know that we don't want to hear this content. We don't want to consume this content. Why would I want my children to watch The Color Purple? Why would I pay for my children to go watch black people suffering? Why would I do that? This is white supremacy porn. So send this movie to push this movie, market this movie to the white supremacists, because black people, I think post 2020, we are tired, we are done, and we don't want to consume this. So this is why I think it's so important for black people to tell black stories. This is why I understand $100 million. It's a lot of money to put into one film. That's why they give it to Universal or all these big white run studios to decide what is going to be consumed. But Oprah, you're going to need to sit down with, what's his name? Tyler Perry. You're going to need to sit down with all these black excellent people. You're going to have to find investors from around the world, because we're in a global society right now. Oprah Winfrey asks anybody for money, they'll give it to her. Go to the Middle East. Get them to finance a film company that makes black empowerment content. Hit me up because I want to be a part of this mission. If we can get Oprah Winfrey, if we can get Tyler Perry, we can get all these black excellent people, get the Middle East to fund it. You can get Africa to fund it, but hey, but get these people to fund it, right? And then start pushing stories that we actually care about and we want to hear about. Unfortunately, even Tyler Perry loves to make struggle love stuff. We just don't want to hear it anymore. And maybe it's just past Oprah's time. I love Oprah. I look up to Oprah. She inspires me, but I understand that she always looked, wished to perform, to act in The Color Purple. The Color Purple means so much to her in her time. And that was the representation that was available around black people. But in 2024, our representation is TikTok, is YouTube, and we don't see black people struggling. We don't want to see black people struggling. Haven't you guys heard about the soft girl movement? Haven't you guys heard about the soft girl, soft black girl, black girl luxury? Haven't you seen these viral TikToks that's the life that we want as black women? So why would we consume a movie about black women getting beaten, harassed, essayed, all of these disgusting things happening? Why? And then, in addition to that, the actors that performed in this movie were also mistreated in the process of them making the movie. And you think black women are gonna go out and support this movie? What? Like, it's so tone deaf. It's so tone deaf. This is why we need black people to make black content, black films. If we get $100 million, it better not be on a slave movie, and it better not be on a struggle love movie, and it better not give us innovative things. I have scripts, guys. If anybody's watching this, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, whoever's watching this, hit me up. I have innovative scripts. Africa has a depth of stories that are not being told, even in Nigeria. Nigerian cinema, Nollywood, it just copies what's going on in Hollywood. Real stories in Nigeria are so much more exciting and riveting than this nonsense that we have coming out of black cinema in America and the nonsense coming out in Hollywood. Why aren't we just telling real black stories that, and then why are we focusing on black empowerment? Why are we focusing on these boring stories that are serve as white supremacy porn? It's tiring, and that's why we're not gonna go pay for The Color Purple. $25 to pay for The Color Purple to watch a black woman getting beaten on the big screen on Christmas Day. Whew, okay. It's actually just offensive to me. That's why I can't even. And then the cast. You bring all these people in the cast, right? You bring Halle Bailey, who's like, okay, well, people are like, look at what people are saying about her online in regards to her relationship with DDG and sort of her being this clean and prissy girl, but turning her into a baby mama. What is the discourse online around that? I just feel like this movie is funding a movie like this is so tone deaf, especially in an era where we have these, the black podcast revolution that really showed us what black men are looking for, what black women are looking for, but you show us something from the 80s, and the book, I don't know when the book was written, way before that, and that's something we're supposed to take our families to go watch on Christmas Day, on the day of joy, on the birth of Jesus Christ. On that day, that's what we're supposed to go watch, a black woman getting beaten up. I was traumatized by watching that movie as a 17-year-old or however old I was, as a teenager, 15 or something. I was traumatized by watching that movie and studying it in school. That, to me, that was a representation of what marriage and black love would look like. That's what I saw. But you want us who have, done the therapy, overcome that BS, to spend our hard-earned dollars on Christmas Day, the Lord's birthday, watching struggle, love, and trauma. After we have let go of that. It's tone deaf. So next time you guys want to fund a movie that's $100 million and you're targeting the black community, go on TikTok. Go and look up black girl TikTok. Go and look up black male TikTok and actually listen to the conversations that we're having. Go on the Shade Room. Go on It's on Site. Go on, and I'm not trying to give a white supremacist a strategy to infiltrate and and to destroy and to re-divert us into white supremacy porn. No. But go on the hottest black platforms, read the comments, see what the conversations we're actually having, then decide on the type of movie that you want to make. But don't release tone deaf nonsense and then act as though, this movie does, of course it didn't do well. It was $100 million and it made $54 million in the box office after 2 weeks of it being out, almost 3 weeks of it being out. That's a flop. Movies make, I believe, like 80% of their gross, what they will always make. Movies make 80% of their revenue, typically, on the opening weekend. Or, I can't remember the stat, but they're supposed to have made the money back now. So if it's 50%, they're not making that money back. And notice how white supremacy, and there's so many layers to this, because now they're going to try and push and blame Taraji for speaking up about her abuse. But the black community, we need to double down and support Taraji P Henson. We need to protect that woman. We need to protect that woman. Because we cannot allow these white publications like Forbes to come out and say, oh, it's Taraji P Henson's fault that this movie didn't do well. No. Number one, why are they being mistreated on set? Why are they being underpaid on set? That's the first question, right? That's the first question. Number two, The movie already started flopping before she even said anything. The movie already started flopping. And then you see the recommendations coming from people like Boosie who walked out of the movie theater. And then you're trying to blame, and then there's another thing, right? Because the movie has gotten so much press. We have like people fighting online. We have Oprah Winfrey talking about it. At the Golden Globes, like there were all these things that they detailed, and then at the Golden Globes, Oprah was like trying to, why are people trying to blame her? And people love to find somebody to blame just because Oprah is this billionaire. They think that she's the one that's responsible for the color purple, and she has aligned a lot of her brand with the color purple. But at the end of the day, like, leave Oprah alone. Like, what is Oprah supposed to do? She's gonna make the movie. Like, well, she's a producer. She's not the studio. She's not in charge of how the movie goes. It's not her. Like, and she did what she could. But people are, coming for Oprah. They're just coming for Black women, and I don't support it. I think we need to be pointing our hands at the right direction. I'm not blaming Oprah. I'm not blaming Taraji. I'm not blaming Gayle King. I'm not blaming any of the Black actresses. They did an excellent job in this movie. I can only imagine the blood, sweat, and tears they put into this movie. And only because of them, I would really love to see it. But I'm not going to watch a movie like that because the story is filth. And this is not me saying that it's a bad story. I've read the book and I know what it's about, but we don't want to consume that type of content. We don't want white supremacy porn. So stop giving us that. Give us Black empowerment content. Stop giving us stories about slavery. Stop giving us stories about struggle love. Stop giving us stories about Black people who are suffering. Give us Black empowerment. Give us a reason to want to excel in our lives. Because right now, when we look at this recession, in addition to that, this is a year of people getting laid off and all that stuff. People are struggling, and you are trying to show them on Christmas Day, on the day of the Lord, you're trying to show them struggle love. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this. Just so ridiculous, and it's so tone. I just don't even understand how they don't know this is tone deaf. I remember seeing the trailer for it. I was excited. I saw Halle Bailey. I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" And I said, "The color. What? No, give us another story about Black empowerment. Hit me up. I have a lot of stories." Whoever's watching this, you're a big executive, you're a filmmaker, you're a financier. I have amazing stories, scripts that I've written. I have a bank of scripts of Black empowerment content that Black people should watch, they want to watch, and everybody wants them to watch it. So guys, let's stop funding this crap. And let's push the studios. If that's the place where we have to get money from, let's push them to actually stop being tone deaf and get on TikTok to actually understand what Black people want to consume. This is not it. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. You're watching Brand Video Pro. I am your host, Kenim. Make sure you check out my Content Mastery Academy here on YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, I'm putting it on TikTok also. And it's just my community where I make exclusive content for people that want to master content creation. Not just going viral, not just being popular, but actually making content that gives you fulfillment and fulfills your purpose. But of course, going viral, getting views, blah, blah, blah. And this is not just for content creators, it's also for businesses that want to push and market their business to consumers. Go check it out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. I'm your host, Kenim, like Kenim, like denim with a K, and I'll see you next time. Peace.